Owning a production company is one of the best decisions that I've made in my life so far. I first founded my production company when I was still in high school, and some of the opportunities I've had since then have just been unreal. Even back then, I was going to some really fancy events. I was getting to meet some really cool people that I had looked up to for a really long time, and I was getting to just work with some really cool cars as well. Overall, I was experiencing so much at such a young age. And in my last year of school, I was faced with the difficult decision of leaving and going to college or pursuing my passion full time. And the latter is what I did, and I have not looked back since. If you're looking to start a video production business, then this is how you do it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to develop some sort of business plan. This doesn't need to be anything complex. It can just be something basic that outlines the types of businesses that you want to go after, the types of videos you want to make, and a rough ballpark of what you think you could be charging. Although at this stage you might not even know this information, as long as you have a rough direction, that'll be enough. Now you're going to want to think about actually starting a brand. So a lot of people either choose to develop a brand on their own name or they create a complete separate corporate brand. I think both options are great, it just really depends on what you want to do. I started with my name Aqib, and eventually I think I was kind of pushing out Visuals by Aqib, which was amazing for me because it really pushed my name out into the community and a lot of people were learning about what I did and who I was. And this might not have been the case if I just had some generic business name. But saying that, I think as you begin to scale, it is good to then eventually have a proper and corporate brand name. There might be times where you take on more than one project in a day and you have teams that you've built over time, and you might have a team getting sent out to one shoot and then you might be covering another shoot, and the last thing you would want is any complaints that you weren't at the other shoot, because if you're using your name then people will have the expectation that you'll be at all of the shoots, which sometimes won't be the case as you begin to scale. Once you have your business name, it's now time to create some simple branding. You don't have to actually spend money on this, you can just create a simple logo on Canva, and Canva works well for this because you're not actually printing the product anyway, it's all for digital use, which Canva is fine for. As a graphic designer, I hate Canva, but it doesn't make sense to spend too much money on your branding at this point. So yeah, just make something simple, make something nice, and make sure you've got the ability to export it as a PNG file, which means that the logo will be transparent and it won't have a background. The reason you'll do this is because you'll overlay the logo on your videos when you start building your portfolio, which will help spread the word about what you do and help you get more business. When it comes to the actual logo design itself, remember, less is more. You want to keep it clean, you want to keep it simple and easy to remember, because I feel like these days people just go too crazy with their logos and that's not how it should be. If you go back to the first step and think about the types of brands that you want to target, you'll obviously be able to design your logo in that style. So if you're going for weddings, then you're going to want to maybe make something a little bit more fancier, a bit more majestic. If you're going to go for cars, then you're going to maybe want something bold, maybe with a tie around there, or like X, Y, and Z, you know. The next part is actually equipping yourself with the gear that you need to create these videos. When it comes to gear, there's so many rabbit holes that you can fall into. So let's relax, let's stay calm and not get too carried away. Don't spend a crazy amount of cash on your first camera, because at this stage we don't even know if you're going to enjoy video production. So I'd say a good amount to spend is around maybe £600. Get yourself a simple camera and just learn it inside out. I started off with a £400 camera. It was a Canon 700D, but I am so happy that I started off with a camera like that, because it meant that I was trying my hardest and learning everything about the camera to make sure that I could get the best picture quality out of it, which in return just made me really good at getting settings down and just nailing my settings, nailing my exposure, and yeah, just making sure that I could get everything looking great in camera. With this camera, I literally did events with Anthony Joshua. I filmed cool promos for some pretty big businesses and no one ever really batted an eyelid. And I actually think it's really funny because back then I used to go really crazy with my editing. I think almost to just cover up how bad and low quality the footage actually was at that time. But we can worry about getting better gear later on anyway, so yeah, just don't stress it at this part. Make sure you actually enjoy this world first, and then we can start investing in things later on. So this is where the fun part begins, and you're just going to go out there and you're just going to start filming. Take advantage of your family and friends. I'm sure someone that you know in your circle will have some sort of business that will benefit from video content, so go out there and just start filming and just make stuff. Now here's my secret sauce, and this is something I've shared with a few upcoming videographers, which they've then put into practice, and it's really helped them out. So now I'm excited to share this with you guys. So you want to approach some sort of charity organisation that you believe in. First, just make sure that they're reputable. Do a bit of research. There's quite a lot of charities out there these days that are kind of like not really doing what they say they'll do, and they can be a little bit funny. So I would just be careful with that and try to stay clear of that. So once you've found this charity, you'll just get in touch with them, ask them if they want any videos created for their campaigns or any sort of videos to promote their events, and tell them you'll do it in return for being able to build your portfolio. In most cases, the charities will be completely over the moon and be really grateful for this offer. But as I said, just make sure you're working with the right charities, and you'll know just from how they treat you and how much they value what you're bringing to them. So as you start working with the charities, you'll be attending a lot of events and you'll be meeting loads of people. And in that mix will be business owners that will be looking at you with your camera, and they'll want to know more. They might end up hiring you to make videos for their businesses, and that will allow you to just continue building up your portfolio even further. I'm against the idea of doing too much free work when you first start, and I know although it can be hard to find clients, it doesn't sit well with me the fact that you could be creating a video for a business that then ends up making money from that video, and you've barely even been paid for the fuel that it cost you to go out and do that video in the first place. This is why I believe that if you're going to do free work, that you need to do it with an organisation that is going to appreciate it. And this is why charities are great for this, because you're helping them create awareness about the great work that they're doing, along with actually building your own portfolio as well. So it's a win-win. When I was doing a lot of charity videos when I started to become quite well known in the community, and a lot of people knew me as that 15-year-old that was going around and making videos for different people. From there, the client pool got bigger, the budgets got bigger, and here we are today. The more types of videos you actually create at this stage, the better, because eventually you'll find the areas that you enjoy and the areas that you don't enjoy, and then you can start narrowing down your skill set and your gear towards that area. For example, if you find that you're going to get into property content and you want to shoot houses, then you'll know that you'll need like a wider lens rather than something that's like a macro for like close-up shots of a ring at a wedding. So you'll be able to just tailor your equipment as you go. And although now you should be kind of on your way to building your portfolio and starting to get some paid client work, the journey doesn't end here, because you have to still make sure that you're constantly learning and adapting, because videography and content in general is always changing. So make sure any free time that you've got, you're using it wisely and you're learning new things, learning new techniques that will help you make your videos better long term. I hate to say it like this, but the moment that you get comfortable is the moment that one of your competitors will come in and just swoop your clients off of you. So just make sure you work hard, stay consistent, and that alone will separate you from the masses. Video production is an amazing industry, and everything that I have, everything that I've done, all the experiences that I've went through have all started with me just holding a camera and trying to make cool videos for brands. Even until this day, there's no better feeling than seeing the look on my clients' faces when I show them the fire that we end up creating together. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you are trying to break into the industry, then feel free to ask me any more questions on Instagram. You can drop me more questions in the comments. For such a long period of time, I've always been about helping people and just sharing as much value as I can, because at the end of the day, there's enough clients here for everyone, and if we can level up together, I think that's a beautiful thing. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.